It should be starting any second now. Yep. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Itch Network podcast, where we discuss all things happening with movies and video games. And today, an anime. I'm Spencer, technically it's a movie, and I'm talking with my good friend, Ninja C. Ninja, how are you?
I am great, Spence. How are you doing?
Another wonderful day in the neighborhood?
Would you be mine? Would you be my neighbor?
Won't you be my neighbor?
Yep. And if you haven't seen the what is that Mr. Rogers documentary, go see it. A little segue there.
Oh, giving them a free plug, I see.
Mm.
All right. How's your week been, dude?
It's been interesting. It's been interesting. Ready for this long weekend because of MLK.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We do have MLK Day coming up, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap. I gotta go do something crazy on that day, like play video games the entire time. Seems like
Hey, you do you, man. No, no one does better than you being you. So.
It sounds almost like a Dr. Seuss quote. Well, we got a lot to talk about today, based off of trends. We have Star Wars, a little bit of Power Rangers, talk about some retro gaming, an interesting review that we put up, which should make for an interesting conversation. And then, of course, movies. Let's get started with you, Ninja. What movies did you watch this week? And I already have them up. If you're watching, you can already see them.
What movies did I complete? Because I've been watching some movies. I don't know. It's been a busy week. I haven't been able to watch a lot of movies, but
Oh, so you have some movies that
some,
you haven't finished watching?
yeah. It's been a very incomplete week, I guess. It's been one of those. I know on Netflix. I know we're gonna go into Star Wars. Just FYI, Solo's on Netflix for you guys.
Yeah.
So.
Watch that gem. Can I spoil that movie yet?
I think you can. I think it's not in theaters anymore. So.
Darth Maul's at the end. It's really dumb. Darth Maul shows up for some reason in the weird lore outside of the movies. Darth Maul gets brought back to life, and they attach like spider legs to him, and he's in Solo, and
Yeah,
it's
actually,
really dumb.
the Star Wars Clone Wars animated or generated movie's pretty good. I like the series. I think he has a brother and stuff.
Who does?
Pretty interesting. Maul.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not the only one.
We'll get into Star Wars, I'm sure, later. There's plenty to talk about there. We could probably do like 5 hours of just talking about Star Wars. But
well, if I look at the notes here, let's see. Let's go by. Wow, was Constantine that?
I put Iron Man first.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. But I just realized that Constantine came out 3 years before it.
Yeah, Constantine was before the superhero rush, or the Marvel superhero rush thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then they made a CW series that then got canceled. I'm surprised Netflix hasn't bought them out. I think it was on CW, and I think they have maybe an animated show about it. But yeah, it's a comic. It's based on a comic book. So.
Well, which one do you want to start with? Constantine then?
Yeah, let's just do sequentially. Like, okay, yeah, I like that because well, Iron Man really started the Marvel movies, but Constantine, it was on cable. There's a lot of they're rerunning like Iron Man quite a bit. Constantine, I like actually.
What is it?
Like Keanu Reeves as John Constantine.
So what is Constantine?
Constantine is a supernatural detective, which is played by Keanu Reeves, John Constantine, helping a police foreman prove his sister's death was not a suicide, but something more. It's actually a lot more complicated than that, but let's see. Who is the Satan on here? Can you pull up the Satan guy? He's hilarious. He's on a lot of good movies. Peter
Peter Stormrage?
Stormrage. Yeah, he's Sweden. He has a very European look to him. If you can if you know what
Oh,
I
okay.
mean.
Oh, okay. This is the guy from Fargo. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
him.
yeah, Fargo, Brothers Grimm, Armageddon. He's got 182 credits
Yeah.
on IMDb. He's kind of usually the bad guy. I guess he's got that kind of face. Even though on IMDb he has a cheerful smile.
Yeah, he's got the nicest looking IMDb
He's,
page, but he's the meanest. He's the
yeah, he's
villain in
like,
everything.
yeah, looks like a Walmart greeter for crying out loud on IMDb. Um,
What Walmarts
yeah,
are you going to? Walmart greeters I
only the
know
best,
are
the most
150
upscale,
years old.
best Walmart. Yeah. That's because you live in Arizona. But anyway, sun's too hot. It's drying everybody out. Wow. Let's do some trivia. This is included in Roger Ebert's most hated list. So not a fan favorite, I guess.
Constantine is?
Yeah, yeah. Apparently Ebert didn't like it too much. But
So
what do they know?
so what's your opinion on it? What's going on? What do you think of it?
It's a pretty good movie, man, for a type of. It's kind of scary. It's like it's an action fantasy horror. So it's got that blend because I don't like pure horror, but I like a little action. It's got some fantasy in it. Still pretty good effects for this day. There's a real mediocre video game with it that I actually did own and play. The video game's kind of similar to like those Matrix video games. They're not those video games are the what tied in the movies aren't the best. So there's some good actors in this,
Especially at that
man.
time, 2005. Yeah, they were half-assing it. I guess you know what's weird
Yeah,
is they don't really make a whole lot of video game movies adaptations anymore, do they?
I think they learned their lesson. I don't think people caught on to it, man, and they weren't buying them.
Yeah, they burnt that bridge.
You get burned so many times. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the standalone movie. I mean, they didn't try to be super ambitious and build a whole thing about it. I kind of want to do. I just picked up Swamp Thing, which I think this is. I don't know if this. I don't think this is Alan Moore. Not too sure. I know Swamp Thing is an Alan Moore comic, and this is based on a comic, but I'm not sure the results of it. But your boy Shia LaBeouf's in it, by the way, before Transformers. This is before
My
Transformers,
boy.
I would assume.
I hate him and I hate all his movies.
You secretly love Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it looks like it just didn't do it too well. It what it grossed is well under the budget, so
I
I
see.
don't know. I enjoy it. No one else's opinions matter, so
Fair enough.
uh,
Well, how many what's your score?
I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10 spears that what's the spear? The whole thing is like trying to get the spear that pierced Jesus' side that is
You're-
gonna bring about
This guy knows
that.
nothing about religion. If I've been
So
in a church, I
yeah.
think like 3 or 4 times, and each time it was for either a wedding or a funeral, so death related on all accounts.
Anyway, but it's a pretty good movie. It has some interesting gadgets too and stuff. So yeah, I'm really surprised, man. The visuals actually are. Must have did a lot of practical effects. They always age really well. So
Hmm.
yeah, it looks like the fans actually like it, man. There's some good reviews on IMDb and stuff. I think I don't know
All right.
critics.
All right. What's next?
Good old Iron Man that started it all. This is kind of my birthday's around usually when the Marvel movies come out. So I think this is the first. I think I did this for my birthday. I saw the original Iron Man. So yeah, this is where the Marvel universe started, and these 2-hour movies. Even though this is only 2 hours and 6 minutes, and it seems like they got longer and longer.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, it's like we had a few, just a little bit at a time.
Oh, this is back
Uh,
when they had Terrence Howard.
yeah, do you know the story behind Terrence?
I assumed
Do
it
you
was
know
just
why he's
money,
not in the sequel?
but
Yeah,
you
he
tell me.
signed on. I think he was one of the earliest sign owners, people that signed on. He just got greedy, man,
Because
and that's what.
at the time, he was kind of rising up. Like he did that Hustle and Flow movie that was
hmm
surprisingly
He's
popular.
got a good series too. Anyway, he recovered from this. It's not like he's on the street begging for acting
Yeah.
spots. So.
Still, I bet you he would have kept up with that Marvel money.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the political side of it. I think he's a good actor. It would have been nice to have that continuity, but also Cheadle's hilarious as the Funny or Die Captain Planet.
Yeah,
If you haven't
yeah.
seen that.
Cheetah was in one of the worst Marvel scenes I think I've seen in all of the movies that, and I haven't seen all of them, but he was in one of the worst. But maybe we'll
Which
get to
one
that at
was
some point.
that? What was
Uh,
the thing?
well, if we want to get onto it, it was in Captain America: Civil War,
Okay.
and it was at the very end when he fell from a really great height and then it
He's
hurt,
like paralyzed after that.
became
Yeah.
well paralyzed from the legs, right? Like he couldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
But like thinking of it logistically, like you look at all areas of it from a dramatic perspective. What if he just died? What problem would we have if he just died? We lost one character and it's one of these side characters. It would have been so cool. It would have been like painful. It would have been emotional. Would have hit you in the gut if he would have just died. And
So
instead he
you're saying he
lit.
should have just took it for the team?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But instead he lives, but his legs don't work. But his job is to get into a mechanical suit that does all the moving for him. So so nothing really fucking happened, right?
So not much skin loss.
No, like because who cares about his I don't even know his stupid name, but who cares about his role outside of being in that suit shooting rockets at people? Like it's not like we're following him around being like, "Oh man, life really sucks now that I don't have my use of my legs."
Hmm.
Like no there's no movie about that, so why does it even matter? Ah, his whole thing irks me. He should be dead. I'm gonna tell I'm gonna send a Twitter or whatever to Don Cheadle saying you should be dead in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, be careful, man. You might have some SWAT team.
Yeah.
I think on the news, I think they had somebody threaten the president. That was on the news today.
SWAT got after him.
I
Yeah.
get them.
There's my Iron Man. No, I guess that is an Iron Man rant in a way. It's connected to that, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and you got Jeff Bridges in it too, and he's not playing the dude, so about there for the dude. The Big Lebowski.
hmm What'd you think of this one? What's your opinion? What's it about?
It's about a man, the Man of Iron.
Man of Iron.
No, I think if they didn't cast, I think again, this, like I said, this started the whole Marvel craze. I think Robert Downey Jr. really is a great casting choice. I think the whole cast is pretty well done. The weak part is what's going to go on to be the Marvel weak points is the villain is literally a bigger copy of the hero.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's just that formula that they're going to carry on. So,
Gotcha. So you watched
but
this
yeah, if you haven't
recently?
seen it, come on.
How's it? I
It's
haven't seen
now
it. How's it hold up?
it's 11. It's 11 years old now. Now that we're in 2019, so.
How's it hold up?
Actually, it holds up really well, man. Like, cause let's just do all three of them, cause the second one's actually the weakest one.
That's the only one I've
Uh,
seen, and I hated it.
it's the weaker. It's the weaker one. Even though what's his name from Moon is in it. He's great. God, because
Sam
he's
Rockwell.
the rival.
Sam
Was
Rockwell.
that? Thank you. Yeah, see Moon, man. He's like the only actor in it.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Well, one of the few actors in it, and then Kevin Spacey's just doing the voice of the robot, so,
Yeah.
or AI.
Are you are
Um,
you a young boy?
whoa, topical. Um, yeah, and then the third one people didn't like because he wasn't in the suit as much, but I like it because it gets him out of the suit. He's like coping with all this like PTSD. He's building gadgets. He's not just he's being more than the suit. So it runs a little long. Though the pacing's a little long in the third one, but it's better than the second
Second.
one. But yeah, I mean the first one is a classic. It's just very bare bones origin story, but
All
it's
right,
got a
what
great soundtrack too. I actually own it. It's just a lot of AC/DC.
what review do you give Iron Man?
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 really expensive Tony Stark rockets that probably heat seek and find you in a cave.
Excellent. All right, and now we get to a movie that we've both seen. I did a review
Yeah,
on this
I
earlier.
had to catch up. You were the trailblazer on this one.
Rare. It's rare that that
So
happens.
yeah, got it. This is at Redbox near you now. Wow, it is a star-studded cast,
We're talking
but
about for
that
people
doesn't
because
mean
people
anything.
aren't watching. It's Bad Times at the El Royale.
Yes, and this is more a recent movie since we gave you some two older movies. Last year, 2 hours and 21 minutes. So it seems like the newer they are, the longer they get.
Yep, that's the trend.
And the only I can't believe Constantine wasn't rated. No, Constantine was rated R. Maybe that's it. Maybe that was one of the things. But sorry I didn't cover that, guys. But yeah, Royale is rated R also, and it's a crime drama mystery. It takes place in 1969. Several strangers must uh, what? It's not even spelled right. Must with a secret.
No, most with a secret to
Most
bury.
with a secret. Okay, I'm having a stroke over here. Thank you. Um, I thought the hotel was the funniest part because, like, or the most interesting part because it's on that line
Yeah.
in between um, the two states, Nevada and the California.
Hmm.
And what is it? John Hamm's character is like some kind of vacuum. He's trying to play off that he's a vacuum salesman, and he's just being real cheap about it because I think it's like $1 extra to stay in California, which I guess was like a ton of money back then. But
It was a little
it's
more.
got dude. It has Nick Offerman in it. I forgot he was even in it. He must have had a small part. I love Nick Offerman. Him and his wife are a hoot. But yeah, Jeff Bridges in it. John Hamm. Chris Hemsworth at the end of it, like you were saying in the when you reviewed it. Yeah, it's a messy movie. I like the beginning, and then it kind of just unravels when Hemsworth shows up as Billy Lee. Um,
Yeah, I kind of thought that that started interestingly,
yeah,
and
that's a
then it
strong start. Yeah.
and they're supposed to like kind of weave in. That's what it seemed like it was going for, where all their stories weave into each other.
Hmm.
But they didn't really weave that much. Like you kind of saw a couple things that was like, oh, that's cool. Like that's what happened on that perspective, and et cetera, et cetera. That person saw this. This is going on here. But
Yeah.
then, like the second half of the movie, all of that stops,
Yeah.
and it becomes a traditional movie, except that almost none of the characters have anything to do with the main villain,
Hmm.
and so it's like the tension is kind of weird. Like well, you don't know this guy, so him his involvement doesn't really matter except for the MacGuffin, but it's kind of a really awkward movie. You were talking about this a little bit ago. You said it was kind of like, um, yeah, like they really want to
Tarantino
be
like.
Tarantino.
Yeah, they're trying to. Uh, maybe it's more of an homage because Tarantino is really talented at what he does. He's a strange man, but he's a talented filmmaker.
Yeah.
Uh, um, yeah, it's trying to be like that. It's just a lot. It's a little bit of a wasted potential. I don't. It's not going to be a classic movie to go back on,
No.
by any means.
Good
And
performances though.
yeah,
Just kind
I
of
love
yeah.
John. I love John Hamm's character in the beginning of it's hilarious, and the one guy keeps thinking that Jeff Bridges is really a priest. So
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about something with this movie because this movie represents or makes the same statement that anybody that's a singer in real life
mm,
has to be a singer in the movie.
okay. Oh, and I did watch the commentary. The singer lady, I didn't know she was so. She has quite an accent, so she did a great job.
Yeah, I don't. Anyway, that's just a weird thing is that they
So
always.
you're saying that they should, or that is
No,
it a
I don't.
trend in movies?
It's a weird trend that we noticed, or that I noticed. I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and she noticed it too. Is that like if you hire a singer to play a role, then they're gonna sing.
Mm.
in the movie at some point. Like there's gonna be a singing part.
Wait, do you feel like they gotta get their minds worth out of it?
I think so. The only one that I don't think does that is Justin Timberlake. But if you have a movie and like the lead actress is Britney Spears, you know there's gonna be a song in there somewhere that she sings. You're just kind of waiting. You spend most of the movie waiting for her to bust out in song, like a Disney movie or something.
It's a valid point.
Yeah. All right, you good with the movies? Oh, what's your score for Bad Times at the El Royale?
I give it 6 vacancies out of 10. Rent it, definitely don't buy it.
Gotcha. All right. Ninja, let me tell you a tale. You can't see it. You're right, you're not watching, right?
Yeah, I just have the notes. It says crazy anime review.
Yeah, all right. So you can't see it. It doesn't matter. I'll read them. My boy Eric he's a big anime guy. We never really explored it on the show before, but he loves his anime. And he recently saw the movie Dragon Ball Super Brawly review. Super Brawly. He did a review of it. It's doing all right on views. It's got 5 upvotes and 90 downvotes, 90 dislikes. Oh my goodness. He got flamed pretty hard on this video. He was not too high on this movie. He thought it was a little bit lazy. He thought that here's where it gets a little shady. He thought that the artistic direction was lacking. He mistakenly called it animation. He corrected it later in the video. But oh my god. If you make any little mistake like that, the anime crowd will jump down your throat and hatch a baby called disdain in your body, and it'll slowly eat the review out alive. I don't think most people watched that long. I think they immediately saw that he didn't really like it and just screamed at him. There are so many comments on this video already. This hasn't been out for more than a day. And I'm going to read you a couple of these comments. One that I only responded to one. It was from Shinobu Sensui. See, all these people, by the way, have pictures of anime characters as their as their avatar. Most of them do.
Okay, so they're qualified review. Is that a prerequisition?
It was a prereq to know your shit.
Okay.
And also to be really fucking lame. But anyway, here's one of them. It says, "You're stupid." Y-O-U-R, stupid. So it's not the contraction you are. It's just your, which implies possession.
Gotcha.
Animation doesn't get any better than this. They literally hired the most legendary Japanese animators that they had. Just stop watching anime. This is the only one I replied to, just so I could correct him and say you apostrophe R-E. And then they got mad. But anyway, there's others that they didn't. Some people wrote some essays on here. The animation was bad. I'll try to say it in their inflection. The animation was bad. You do know the difference between animation and art style, right? I think you have those two mixed up because you used a still image of a character. This is where he used it wrong at the beginning, but then he fixed it later. You doing all right over there, Ninja?
Yeah, I'm good. I think I might have lost you for a second, but it sounds like you're making sure people are very grammatical with their comments.
Yeah. And I think it's a lot more important than knowing how good anime is.
Well, you need to be able to convey yourself intelligently if you're going to argue.
Yes, you used a still image of a character from the anime Toriko, saying that the animation was similar to that in this new Dragon Ball. And then he just goes on and on about it. Oh my god.
Okay.
Very passionate, these people. Laughed my ass off. The animation was godlike. The fuck you on about? So there's that. These are some strange opinions, LOL. You hated the animation and music, which are the best things about the movie, but loved the 3D. Hanging in there?
I'm back.
So anyway, they're going on and on. They do mention the animation a lot. I get that he he messed up at the beginning, but he did fix it.
Was there any positive comments?
Not really. I think one person said one person was sarcastic. I think one person defended him in the reply, but it's been like a shitstorm. And it's just kind of funny. Like they get crazy obsessive over this stuff. But apparently they disagree. They think the art is great. I've seen little stills of this movie, quote unquote. It's an anime thing, but and I think it looks ugly as hell. But I also don't watch anime, and I think all anime is pretty ugly anyway. There's a couple examples of good looking ones, but I'm the guy that doesn't like anime, so I don't review it. But I think it looks bad. I'm with you, Eric. Solidarity, brother. Anyway, I wanted to bring that to attention because anime people scare the crap out of me. I think they're going to Kamehameha Arizona when they see this, and we will never even exist because we released this review. Oh boy! All right, you ready to talk some Power Rangers?
Oh yeah, man. I got the news right here.
All right, well, Power Rangers in the news a lot. I'll just briefly go over this, and then we can jump into what we know about Power Rangers. And you have a news story too. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is a fighting game that just got announced. It's an upcoming fighter game by developer Enway. So you know it's going to be good because you know who Enway is. It looks like it's going to be, just a celebrating 25-year history, so you're probably going to be able to play with all the different iterations, or a lot of the different iterations. There's like a lot, which we'll go over. I was never much of a Power Rangers guy. I mean, I was really into it when I was in first grade. Outside of that, I don't think I ever really loved the show. You have some news too, so can you read your news for Power Rangers?
Yeah, my wife actually sent me some fan clubs. She's a huge Power Ranger fan and has met the Black Ranger, Red Ranger, another Ranger, and Jason David Frank, which was the White and Green Ranger, or the Dragon Rangers. They refer to him as. He's a really nice guy too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Jason David Frank's daughter might be the Red Ranger in another Power Ranger series, so I don't know if that's like if it's in production or they're just casting right now. So, but yeah, the Power Rangers have been going for a while. It was off another show, and then they recorded the non-fighting parts with American actors here. So
yeah.
What is this Power Ranger Shadow in the Grid? Is that the I see that on.
Do you remember when the Power Rangers movie was coming out, like a year ago or whatever, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I got my wife no, yeah, she I don't know if I got her the original Power Ranger, that and Turbo, and we actually went and saw that one in theaters, the new one.
The girls looked really attractive, but God, that looked dumb. What did you think of that movie?
Did we review it?
No.
Oh man, I guess it's before we went and did it. It's a huge Krispy Kreme ad. It's hilarious.
Oh, I heard about that.
I think we should actually go back and review it. And I should rewatch it. If my wife doesn't have it, I'll get it for her, and then we'll review it.
Do you remember the drama about the movie poster?
No, I don't remember any drama from it. Was it when they were casting the?
No, it's kind of hilarious, like kind of tragic, but kind of hilarious if you can put aside the tragedy.
Yeah.
They released a poster of the Yellow Ranger, and she's like standing, I think, on part of her motorcycle or something that she drives, probably a Zord or some. I do not like do the Power Rangers anyway. But she's standing on it, and on the poster it says, in quotes, "Driver's ed is not required." So that's like the tagline for it, because I guess she's an expert because she's a Power Ranger or whatever.
Okay.
But it's important to note that the original Yellow Ranger, a female, she's like an Asian girl. I don't know enough about it, but
She was Asian. She actually tragically died
In a
fairly
car
young.
crash.
Yeah, fairly young. Yeah.
So a lot of people gave that movie poster a lot of shit. Obviously, it wasn't intentional. Like, I don't think they meant to take a dig at her like that.
Mhm.
But it's just a crazy bit of oversight
Yeah.
that they wouldn't see that coming after.
I'm looking on Facebook. It looks like the Power Rangers 2 movie is in production, the sequel,
Hmm.
and this was posted in August. So
Must have done well enough. I do not get it. I do not get it.
nostalgia. Told you before, man. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, and there's so many different versions of Power Rangers. So it started up in 1993, and of course it runs alongside like a version in Japan called the Super Sentai.
Yes. Yes.
And I think tell me if I'm wrong. Your wife may know this, but you they take the fighting scenes, right, from the Japanese version.
Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine actually watches that the Super Sentai has been going on for decades.
Yeah.
And they just edit it. It's just really good. It's just they just edit the parts where they're actually acting out of the suits. So.
Yeah, so it's always the same people, well, the same fighting scenes, but they just edit they have the people do the people
Well,
scenes.
yeah, and the masks don't have moving mouth parts, so you've eliminated that problem too of
Yeah.
even syncing it. So
That's the most clever, lazy way to make a show across cultures, and I love it. I think that's wonderful. But yeah, I remember the show growing up. Rita Repulsa was that annoying lady. Um, and then it had Jason Lee Scott, Trini Kwan, Billy Cranston, Kimberly Hart, and Zach Taylor, and then Tommy, who's now like a MMA fighter.
uh,
He's the Green Ranger, and then became the White Ranger.
yes, he does
Yeah.
a lot of conventions and tours. He's got some Guinness World Record for breaking boards while skydiving too. Random tidbit for you.
Wow.
He
Uh,
lives somewhere in Texas with his wife and kids.
didn't didn't Kimberly do some? I heard that she did some perhaps pornography.
I'm not sure about that. I know they cameoed in the new Power Rangers movie. Yeah, yeah. The Green White Ranger and Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to her after the. She was in the older movies, the first one and Turbo.
Ah, is it true that there are two Pink Rangers? The stunt woman went on to do the stunts for Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first few years. That is a rumor. I don't see anything that says she did, and they would usually say, "Yeah, it looks like that's a rumor." That's a rumor I heard. It's clearly not the case. Um, but yeah, Power Rangers, man. People get really into it for some reason.
Yeah,
I,
there's been a lot of those type of shows. I mean, I think there was a Samurai something Ultra show and
you ever like anything with big robots in it?
oh, the mecha and stuff. Yeah, I like Pacific Rim and I went to a few of those shows.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's the kid in this. They want to go pilot something that's can smash a lot of buildings and things, man.
yeah, maybe. I hate robots. I hate mechs. I shouldn't say I hate robots. I hate mechs.
That seems like that seems almost racist.
Yeah, yeah.
Robot
Well, in the
racism.
future, it's gonna be right.
Yeah, you might
I
want
hate you,
to
robot
you might
scum.
want to buy a Roomba. Is it the Korean robot and start being nice to them just so they
Roomba, the thing that cleans your floor.
yeah, yeah, limiting our generations of it they have.
Yeah, just be really appreciative of all its efforts.
Or our future overlords, just be nice to them.
Yeah. All right. So that's Power Rangers. Let's move on to retro games. You're more of a retro gamer than a current gen gamer, right?
Yeah, I really just don't like the state of the market of all the microtransactions and everything like that. But also, I'm like an older generation that grew up in, well, not grew up in the arcades, but the dying of the arcades, I guess, with that.
What's
And
what's the newest generation that you were still kind of attached to?
of console games,
Yeah.
probably the PS3. That's what we have.
Oh, okay.
That's what we played the most. Well, also because it plays PS1 games too, because we have that model that does that. So, I mean, I did buy what is it, Road Trip, just for the Mighty Mighty Ballstones soundtrack. And also, I love car combat games like Twisted Metal. I'd like to do a top five or maybe even 10. There's not a ton of them out there, but there is that kind of emerged with the PlayStation. So,
Hmm. N64 had a really good one too.
oh really?
It's called Battle Tanks.
Battle Tanks. I will have to look that up.
Yeah, Battle Tanks 2, I think it's might be called Global Assault. Um I've played many, many hours on it. It's it's like a RTS mixed with a tank game.
Ooh, yeah, you got me sold there, RTS, man.
It's a ton of
Of all the
fun.
StarCrafts. Yeah, I'm looking at it right
Well, I
now.
wouldn't look at it
It's actually
that
not
way,
that.
but
It's actually fairly cheap to get it used. I mean, you're gonna get new or anything, but yeah.
yeah, that game was great. Uh, but you said that you're more into arcade games, right? You grew up in that era?
Yeah, yeah, we had a lot of friends' birthdays in arcades, and that was still a thing in the malls. So, and
Yeah.
pizza places and bowling alleys. You know, that's where the last bastion of hope for arcade games.
I don't know. I never got into the arcade stuff. And we had an arcade near us, probably like 15 minutes away, and we rarely went to it, but I was always
Mm.
excited to go. But then like after spending like 20 minutes at an arcade, I always got really bored. And to this day, when on the very rare occasion I go to like a Dave and Buster's or something,
Yeah.
I just look at them with such disdain. Like I could be playing a PS4 game right now that's a million times better. But
Well,
it's a
yeah, but
different
I've
spirit. It's a
seen a
different spirit
boom
though.
in this, talking to people all over the country, and a lot of them are booming because they mix there's a restaurant with it or a cafe. There's one in New York that has board games integrated into it, so it's a lot of different themes. So it's more of a cultural hangout, like either drinking's part of it or whatever. I think somebody had said there was Harry Potter elements to it. So I mean, there's a lot of different ones out there. I mean, look at David Buster's. It's basically a restaurant with some uh more modern arcade games.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Um,
there's some good games too. A great resource is GOG, Good Old Games too. If you like,
yeah.
and also a
Who
great company that I've received a lot of free games just for having an account with them.
when you go to an arcade, are you playing mostly like the coin op games, or are you playing the ones that give you the tickets?
Oh, the coin op. I don't really care about the tickets.
Yeah, because you always get ripped off with that.
Yeah, there's just too many. They just have it's just like a jillion of them for a pencil eraser, man.
Yeah, right.
No, I just want that. I want that highest score because that was the thing with your initials and everything. So, um, yeah, but I mean, we go to an arcade that's you pay one price and then you play all the games. So it's more that uh experience because as a kid you have limited resources, right? So you try to get as good as you can. Your family gives you a few dollars and you have to make that last for hours as they shop. So.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I played Metal Slug recently with a friend.
Hmm. Yeah, I do love that game. Actually, when I owned a Neo Geo Pocket, that was one of the games I had.
That game, you need to play it with money. I played a ROM of it
Uh-huh.
with my friend, and the emulation was fine. It was perfect and everything. I had no issues with it, but you kind of realize that the game is completely built off of the idea that you're going to be paying money for your life. So you
Yeah.
cared. Because really, I mean, we were playing a ROM, so we were just literally holding forward and shooting everything. And if you don't have any stakes, like you don't have any money going on it, you can't lose. It was very eye opening. I never really considered that. You're looking at it from that different angle. It's a very capitalist way to make a video game.
Yeah, maybe back then that was the version of microtransactions or something. I don't know. You know, it was just a product. Maybe it was just a product of the time. And I think arcades were the thing that they were big because the limitation of home consoles, but there became a certain point where the technology was better and you could get better graphics at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
And
when that
well, I
happened.
think also the emergence of good Wi-Fi connection, everybody having internet and internet connection. So yeah, and also they wanted to sell multiple copies of video games, so make more money. When everybody's like, let's say GoldenEye in '64, right?
Yeah.
Just have to have one copy, right? You can have 4 people over.
Mhm.
They've just cut their profit by 4.
That's a really
They're not
good
making the money.
good point on the Wi-Fi thing. That might have been it. I mean, I'm thinking around PS2 eras when it started, because I remember Dreamcast coming out, and it's just like in the arcades. And then
Yeah, Dreamcast is just ahead of its time, man, because
and
it had some great games.
I think the Dreamcast is overrated and crap, but I will say it had some good games on it, a couple. But then the PS2.
Power Stone.
Oh yeah, wonderful. Then the PS2 came out and like blew the Dreamcast out of the water, and I think to me that's kind of when the arcade scene. I'm sure it didn't. I'm sure there was another time or another reason, but in my history, in my brain racking that's when it became like, oh, arcades are completely obsolete at this point.
Yeah, the PS2 was a juggernaut, dude. They sold so many of that console, and it was the cheapest DVD player you could get in like Japan, and uh,
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
and you could add on to it.
and Down Phoenix in the chat, just call me ambitious because I'm doing 2 podcasts today. I got you, and then I got him later. At my time, it's
What
like
is this?
what?
Is this the opener? Is this the opener podcast?
Yeah. I think he goes longer than we do, so yeah, I guess this is the, what do you call it? Not the, yeah, the opener, the curtain jerker.
You'll have to really you have to really, we sponsor those quizzes by Red Bull. You have to really actually
I'll have to
drink
drink
some Red
one.
Bull.
I bet you he drinks one. I saw his last podcast. He was an energetic guy.
Yeah.
I'll have to drink one to keep up. But yeah, we'll have plenty more long form discussions on retro gaming, but the arcade scene has always interested me just because it's always fascinated me because I've never been into it, but I know there's like a whole subculture about it.
Yeah, there is, and it's just all over the States. I'd like to see it in the European countries to see if it's still going strong too.
Yeah. All right. And let's wrap this up by talking just a little bit about Star Wars. And we'll have plenty more discussions about Star Wars because it's huge, and I'm a huge fan of it. I don't know. Are you a big Star Wars guy?
Yeah, I think I'm more of a Star Wars than Star Trek. So I did grow up with Star Wars. So
what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
oh man, you can't do that. You know what? I should pick like the worst one just to troll you.
There's only there's only 2 options to me. How dare I know what you're about to do, and I hate you already for it. There's 3 options, I guess, but to me there's 2. It's either Empire Strikes Back or A New Hope. But go ahead. What's your favorite?
I have always had a thing for Empire Strikes Back, and it's not a complex reason. It had snow on it. I thought that was cool as a kid. Growing up somewhere that snow wasn't around, I just thought that was fascinating that they were having a fight on snow. So
You wanted to be in there, huh?
And it wasn't salt, okay? It was snow. So
Oh yeah. It's a nice episode 8 jab.
throwaway line there.
Well, you know why they did that, right?
I know why they do that.
In you're talking about episode 8?
Yeah, yeah, where he
Yeah.
literally licks it and it's like salt.
And how it's got the red mark on it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason
Yeah, it's a visually stunning, yeah.
the reason they did that was so when Luke comes out, he doesn't leave it.
Oh, gotcha.
So you know that he's a ghost.
Oh, it sets it up, yeah.
Yeah. Mine's definitely Empire as well. Empire had, to me, is like one of the most perfect. I mean, you always want to say like nothing's perfect. If nothing is perfect, Empire Strikes Back is as close to perfect as you can get for that.
Yeah, it's
kind of
used
movie.
as a comparison to like, oh, they've empired this movie, or they've.
They perfected it. Yeah, it's so good. It's got good drama, good comedy, good action, amazing visuals. Music is perfect. I think. I think the damn thing's
Yeah,
close to perfect.
I think the Star Wars franchise has really always had pretty good music, even with the prequels.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think is the worst Star Wars movie?
probably, that's even tough. It'd probably have to be one of the prequels.
And let's keep it to the numbered ones. No,
the number ones, yeah. I want to say Phantom Menace. It has so much Jar Jar in there.
You think so?
Yeah, because the only thing I like about it is the last fight scene with Darth Maul and that operatic musical number.
It's a fun fight. It's kind of pointless, but it's fun.
I
guess that's the prequels, isn't it?
The music is just great on it. So, and then it's cool because it's two Jedis fighting. I don't think that happens a lot in the movies where you have two Jedis fighting a Sith.
Well, the next one did that.
Well, no, the prequels started it, but you didn't have that before, did you? On the originals? No, so that was like the kind of what the prequels are known for.
Yeah, two Jedi fighting one. That's
2v1s.
Well, I think Attack of the Clones is worse than Episode 1, and I think by far. I think Episode 1 has a really cool pod race. And it has a lightsaber fight that's fun. Episode 2, I struggle to find any redeeming quality in. There's some of the worst love dialogue I've ever heard. Delivered poorly. Delivered poorly and written poorly. I'm just gonna blame it. I used to say like, well, maybe the actors didn't know. No, you know what? I'm just gonna blame everybody. It's too difficult to try to filter through it. It's just everybody sucks. Everybody sucks. I think what's her face? Padme. What's her name?
Oh,
Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
I think she sucks. I haven't seen a movie with her that I liked. Ewan McGregor he's the only one that I think was trying. Like he's like trying to piece this all together, trying to make the most out of his character.
He's a huge Star Wars nut. His brother is like in the British Air Force, and he's like his call sign is like Obi-Wan or Obi-Wan 2 or something.
There's a absolutely ridiculous fight with Yoda in it that just gives me a blistering headache. I remember seeing it in the theaters, and I know I'm not the only one who hates it because I saw it in the theaters and everybody laughed. And that is not what they were going for. At least I don't think. If they were going for laughter to have Yoda pull out his lightsaber and start flipping around like a retard, then, I mean, okay. Then mission accomplished. But I don't think that was the point. I think the whole point was to be dramatic and cool. And everybody in the theater just pointed and laughed.
Mm-hmm.
Count Dooku, what the hell is that? What is that? I don't know. To me, there's no redeeming quality of that movie. It's just straight garbage.
Just a garbage fire in space. Is that what you're describing?
Yeah. And the only movie and I actually, believe it or not, I put The Last Jedi right after Clone Wars. or Attack of the Clones. Sorry. So I actually think Episode 1 is better than The Last Jedi. I think Episode 1 has some redeeming qualities that people skip over. Yeah, it has Jar Jar. Okay, that is very very bad.
They do start tailing off his appearances in the other movies. I think from the fan feedback.
I don't know why they didn't just completely get rid of him. That to me almost makes Episode 2 worse.
Why? Yeah, you want to kill off Jeezel, man, so bad. Why don't you kill Jar Jar for a bigger impact?
It always doesn't. Don't you think it kind of makes it worse though that everybody hates Jar Jar, right? So Episode 1, he's kind of an experiment. Episode 2, it's clear everybody hates him.
Yeah.
And they bring him back and make him a senator.
Well, isn't there a theory where he's actually the Dark Sith too? That's like a huge fan theory on the interwebs.
Yeah, but that's all that goes to. It's just a theory. A game? No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, oh man. I could go on and on about how shitty I think Episode 2 is.
You know what? The prequels actually did make some good games, though. Actually,
Yeah.
there's like a arcade style side-scrolling beat 'em up I played on the PlayStation.
Jedi Power Battles.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
I love that
renting it
game.
or a friend having it. So
I played the shit out of that game. That was a great one.
I had the terrible Phantom Menace game. That was bought as a gift, and it came with the guide.
You know what? I played that game at a friend's house and I kind of liked it. I was a young kid, so whatever. But
I was not gonna let that game beat me. I actually killed Darth Maul with all the rockets I had saved up. I got him. The game kind of glitched out and he got stuck in a corner. I just killed him that way, dude, because it's crazy. It got crazy difficult at a while. It's just bad, but not for a good reason. Just bad programming.
yeah, and that's
But you can force push, so that's all that matters, right? You can force push.
Yeah, and that's what you told people at school, right?
Yeah, I was like,
you can force push in it. You can use a lightsaber. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they started having what's the like really active, crazy Unleash the Fury ones they had that didn't really even have the main characters.
Force Unleashed.
Oh, Steve. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You know what? I didn't play the first one, but I played the second one because I kind of stole it. And I really enjoyed it. And everyone shits on the second one, saying it's a waste of time. But I mean, I'm sure the first one's better, but
I
second
think I
one
bought
was
the
a lot of fun.
second one on Steam in a fever dream or something, or it probably just was on such a good sale. Probably got it for a few bucks. So.
It looks gorgeous, and it's got a lot going on. It's a really stupid game, but it looks gorgeous and it's competent in the gameplay perspective. So if you can get it for cheap, it's a good afternoon, maybe.
Yeah, just wait till whatever upcoming sales. I guess the summer sale or spring sale for Steam would be it.
Hopefully, there's a Valentine's Day sale.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that old of a game that GOG would have it. So.
Yeah.
Or is there any other platforms that you use? I mainly use Steam and Good Old Games, and then the BNet.
I have a Good Old Games account. I haven't logged into it in probably a decade.
You probably have like 7 new free games just for having it.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that's it for today.
All right, it's been great.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week with more exciting gaming news and movie news. Peace out.